Hi girlies. Today we are doing a big sister chat. It has been a minute and this is something I actually wanted to make more of like a series on here. If you don't know by now, I have two little sisters and being a big sister is like my whole identity. I love nothing more than having sisters, but almost every single one of my friends don't have sisters. And so we always have these like friend chats and stuff, but I'm like, oh my gosh, people who don't have sisters are missing out on life. So if you don't have a sister, if you don't have a great relationship with your sister, or if you just have questions you don't want to ask your sister, you can ask me. I got a ton of questions like this along the lines of general advice for talking to boys or how to feel confident when talking to boys and how to know if they're the right one. It's been a minute for me, but one of the big things that I wish every girl understood is that you are so interesting. You might not think you're interesting, but you are so interesting. Even if you are more reserved and quiet and you think, oh, people don't really care about me because I don't talk as much. Usually you're the most interesting ones. Like every one of you has something valuable to say. And the biggest thing is do not hold that back because you're like scared of what this guy's gonna think about you. Because I know this sounds kind of cliche, but the right person cares about what you have to say. They care about your hobbies and they care about your thoughts and they'll like want to get them out of you. So if you're worried about being confident in front of them, I know initially it's like awkward when you first meet people. Genuinely be yourself, because in the long run, being with somebody who doesn't appreciate you for like truly who you are is like so much worse than being alone, right? Like so much worse. So just try to like find that personal identity within you. Know what you like. Don't be embarrassed about what makes you you. When you talk about things you're interested in, don't add a million disclaimers or be like, I know it's kind of weird, but just own it. You're cool. Know that you're cool, know that you're interesting, and if they don't think you're interesting, that is not your problem. That is fully their problem, and we don't care about them. This question said, I'm turning 23 soon. What advice would you give to your 23-year-old sister? I have a 23-year-old sister, so what I would say to her is that this is such a pivotal time in your life, and it's kind of a confusing time. The early 20s, you're still in this transition of going from your teenage years to becoming like a woman, an adult. And it's really confusing because you start to think a lot of things that are different than you thought growing up. And different doesn't mean bad, you know, like you might change your worldviews or your religious views, or you might just be more open-minded in general. And that can be kind of like a scary thing, but lean into that because it's healthy and it's normal and it's really important that we change. We don't need to change at the core who we are. Like we should always be connected to that, you know, the inner child in us, but change is normal and it's good. And so don't be nervous if you start thinking differently, and like really take time to get to know yourself. Like be alone with yourself, be bored with yourself, be comfortable with yourself, fall in love with yourself. And once you like have this strong identity, it'll be so much easier to like make friends you truly connect with, to fall in love with somebody who you really believe you should be with because you know yourself better. Or even as simple as like having a job that makes you feel fulfilled because you know what you like. Take that time to just like be present with yourself, understand yourself. And then on a more surface level, I would say take a dream trip. It doesn't have to be expensive. And I know nobody really has money in their early 20s, but just work hard, save, and just go on one trip of a lifetime. Even if you don't have people to go with, go alone, and you won't regret it. Like you never will regret these experiences, especially before, if you want to get married or have kids, if that's something you're like interested in. Obviously, you know, you can travel with them. I do it all the time, but it's different. Like I wish I would have been able to travel more when I was young. I got married young and I'm grateful for it, but take that time for yourself. Okay, next question. I'm not just saying this. A lot of people actually did ask me for some skincare tips. So to start with tips, something that I think has helped my skin the most over the years is honestly what I'm eating. Like what I eat has a really big effect on how my skin performs, I guess. And so I try to eat a lot of like whole foods, a lot of foods with like good healthy fats in them. And also, I'm not a dermatologist. I know that too much sun is not good for you, but a little bit of sun with sunblock personally has done wonders to my skin. I'm like literally so excited because one of my favorite skincare brands reached out to partner with me. I started using this when I was pregnant with Knox, so that was like 5 years ago. The first time, okay, so I'll show you, it's Osea. The first time I put this cleanser on my face, I literally was like, what is this? What is this magic? They are like a clean beauty product, so it's cruelty-free and it also is derived from seaweed. I know that sounds whack, but it feels unbelievable on your skin. It has been my favorite cleanser I've ever used. I've tried so many cleansers, and then just recently I tried this hyaluronic sea serum, and you use this after you cleanse together. It's literally magnificent. I'll show you a little like demo of me wearing it so you can see, but I'm obsessed, and I have a discount code that is 10% off. This cleanser has Undaria seaweed, which is rich in amino acids, antioxidants, and nutrients. It helps mineralize the skin. It feels so soft and hydrating going on. I can't explain it to you. The smell is also incredible. Like, it makes my skin feel so glowy and hydrated after. If you're interested in the duo, you can use my discount code MaddieC. It'll save you 10%, which when you bundle it will be $26. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed. There is hype around this product for a reason. After I use the ocean cleanser, I do the hyaluronic sea serum. This is 2 times the hyaluronic acid, so it makes your skin look firm and full and ultra hydrated. I am so stoked about this one because, like I said, I've used the cleanser for years, but I am loving both of these. Okay, biggest relationship red flags. I think these ones are actually so important. We know some of like the basic ones, like they should want to be with you. Yeah, you know, that's a red flag. But one lately that I've been like reading a lot about and learning a lot about is emotional immaturity. And I think, I'm not saying all men, but I think a lot of men are a little bit emotionally immature. I've just been thinking a lot lately about how like we all feel emotion. Every single one of us feels emotion, and we just express it differently. But we're all emotional people, and crying and being angry are both emotional. It's both an emotional response. So the biggest red flag I would look for in somebody is emotional immaturity. They should be able to respect you showing your emotions and saying how you feel. Also, the biggest one for me is if they make fun of you for your hobbies and your interests. Obviously, like, everyone likes a little tease, a little roast, but I'm talking about straight up thinks you're dumb for like liking the movies you do, liking the music you do, liking the books that you like you're interested. If you're into makeup and they think that's stupid, we don't do that. We don't do that. We're not letting men think that girly things are stupid anymore. We're done with that. So if they think that, bye. Another thing I would look for is if they do not have a lot of close relationships in their life. Like, obviously there's a million reasons why they might not be close with their family, or I'm not even talking about like girlfriends in the past. I'm saying like if they have a hard time hanging on to friends or just healthy relationships in general, that's a little bit of a red flag. A few of you asked me how to get closer to your sister, especially as you are adults. Like, you might think, oh, it's too late, I'm not close with them. I think the best way to get close with your sister would be to start by straight up saying to them, I want to be closer to you. Like, just saying to them, I love you so much, I'm so grateful for our relationship, and I want to be closer to you. I want to like grow this relationship with you. If somebody said that to me, that would be like, oh, really? Like, I doubt your sister would be like, you want to be closer to me? They'd probably be like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking the same thing. I just didn't know how to say it. Tell them. Say, I straight up want to be closer to you. And then start by doing, this is applicable both if you live close or far away, but I'm just thinking far away because I've always lived far away from my sister since I left home. But talk on the phone all the time. All the time. Text them sporadically throughout the day, and like those micro phone calls are so much more important than those big ones. Like, I have people in my life who I don't talk to for a while, and then we like catch up and it's like a 2-hour phone call, and I love that. But if you're feeling that way with your sister, like, oh, we just don't talk enough, and then whether I'm too busy, and then I do talk to her and it's this long combo. If you just start giving them quick calls, like, oh, I'm running to the grocery store, I have 10 minutes, give them a call. You learn so much more about their life, and you get so much closer because you're in the little details. Like, I talk to my sisters every single day, even if it's for 5 minutes. We chat. I know what they're doing, I know who they're friends with, I know what they're wearing, what they're eating, and I feel so close to them because of that. If you are lucky enough to live close to your sister, I would say start by like weekly or monthly girls' nights too. You don't need to like go out and get crazy, but like, hey, do you want to do our nails together? Or do you want to make dinner together? You want to watch a movie together? You want to like do a house project together? There's those little moments of like, oh, I read this article and I freaking loved this. It talked about making friendships, and I think that this really applies to sibling friendships. It says, when we're little, why do we have so many of these like close best friends? And it's because you really lean into that childlike play. And I've been thinking about that with like my closest friendships in life. It's because we still have that like childishness in us where we're like, hey, I don't have a plan. You want to go to the beach and play volleyball? Something like that. Tuning into that with your sister, like going back to your childhood roots, and like the art of doing nothing, going on a walk together, going to Target and shopping together. Those little like mundane moments are what ultimately make you like super bonded and close, and you don't need this grand reason to get together. Okay, when this question came in, I was like, time to answer this. I've never talked about this before. She said, do you have any shame over your body or intimacy because of your religion or like your religious upbringing? Yes, yes, I do. I literally do. And this girl was like, I'm part of your same religion, but like, do you? And I'm like, absolutely I do. And I think that I could make an entire video, like I could make a podcast about this, but like, in short, there's a lot of problematic things with purity culture. There's some great things, but like, yeah, I do. I will not be raising boys and hopefully daughters someday, but my sons are literally not allowed to talk about a girl's body in a negative way or talk about what she's wearing or how little she's wearing. It is up to her, and we cannot say anything. And if my kids do, they will be punished the same as they will be if they're like hardcore bullying. We're not doing that. Like we can wear what we want to wear, what we feel comfortable in, what we feel cute in. I grew up looking like a freaking PTO homeroom mom. Like, I looked more like a mom at 15 years old than I look like right now. Like, I would have never worn a crop top. No. Always kept sleeves, knee-length shorts, like modest to the nines. And it is, in my opinion, problematic because I felt shame about my body. Like, I started wearing tank tops only a few years ago, you guys. I was on a flight home from New York and I wore a tank top. Literally not even remotely like revealing, okay? It was like this kind of tank top. And I was walking to go to the bathroom and I found myself subconsciously covering up my shoulders because I was like, I'm not supposed to show my shoulders. And then I'm like, this, I can freaking show this in public if I want to. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even realize sometimes like how much like shame I would feel about showing my body because of like the modesty purity culture taught. And I am slowly undoing that now. I do think that there's things, you know, there's things that I guess were important to learn growing up, but I'm totally changing the narrative how I talk to my kids and like the girls in my life. Like it definitely has translated into intimacy because I'm not sure, like maybe you are like saved yourself for marriage, or maybe you know somebody who has, or maybe you have no idea, but like one of the things I don't think anybody really talks about is how weird it is to go from being like sex equals bad. Being sexy is bad. Like, we're not sexy. We shouldn't want to be sexy. And then all of a sudden you get married and it's like, sex. And it's weird because it feels so literally like you're betraying yourself, like your own core beliefs. And I feel like it took me until maybe like a year ago to think I was even sexy. And it is not, Cole did not do that, you guys. Cole was great. It was nothing that he said or did. It was literally years of being told I shouldn't be sexy, and then all of a sudden needing to be sexy. That was like weird with my psyche. And I don't know if I have advice for this other than if at the very least to say if you're feeling this way, you're not alone. And it's not bad to be like a sexy person or to want to be sexy. And it's not bad to show your shoulders, actually. And it's not bad to wear what you want to wear. And if you want to dress more modestly or like cover more, that's not bad either. You can literally do whatever you want. It's your body, and nobody can decide that for you. I mean, it's different if you're like 12 years old and your parents are telling you what, like if they have their own rules. I'm talking about if you are a grown woman, you can wear what you freaking want to wear and you shouldn't feel bad about it. I got another question that like went along with this a bunch, and it was basically just about like intimacy after kids, or like how often are you intimate, like tips for that. And I don't want to say too much, not necessarily because I'm not comfortable. It's more so because every relationship is so uniquely different, and everybody operates differently. So the last thing I would want is for you to like compare yourself to me and think that I'm doing it right, you're doing it wrong. It totally fluctuates depending on a million factors. Like the life stage you're in. When you freaking have a newborn baby, you're not gonna catch me being intimate, okay? Like when you don't feel emotionally connected, like for me to want to be like sexually intimate, I need to feel like emotionally understood, and when me and Cole aren't feeling that way, you know, it's gonna be less. But tips for being more intimate is communication. Like you should be able to say exactly what you're thinking and what you want and what you need, and you shouldn't be like getting treated poorly because of that. So my biggest tip is to just like communicate your needs, and to also understand that life is it's like this. It is so freaking all over the place. All right, my girlies, that's all for today. I have so many other questions I want to answer, but I don't want the video to be too long. If you want like this to be a thing, a series, let me know. I like have so much fun making these style videos. I've also been thinking, I've been throwing around the idea of a podcast a lot for a long time, and it's just like, I don't know. But lately I've been thinking, what if I did a podcast with my sisters? Like that would be so fun. But I don't know if people are interested in that. So just let me know. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. We'll talk soon.